Hi, Shalom. This week's Parasha, Acharei Mot-Kedoshim. In the beginning of Parashat Kedoshim, we come across the two famous words, Kedoshim to you. You shall be holy. And I want to be holy. Everyone wants to be holy. But what do I need to do? What are the instructions in becoming holy, and what does that even mean? And the Midrash comes and tells us, Kedoshim to you, Prushim to you, shall be separated. But what does that mean? And the Ramban goes to explain, he brings the idea of an aval birshut HaTorah. You could have someone who his behavior technically and officially is all according to the Torah. There's no specific siman in the Shulchan Aruch that he's going against. But in the way in which he's talking and behaving and drinking and eating and not distancing himself from luxuries and just his whole entire lifestyle is so far from what the Torah wants him to do. And that's what the Torah is telling him, Prushim to you, don't be an aval b'shut Torah. Make sure you get your priorities right. But then there's another midrash. The midrash that says, because the continuation of the pasuk says, Ki kadosh ani, and the midrash says, yes, just like I am kadosh, but I am more kadosh than you. Well, of course Hashem is more kadosh than us, but even more so, based on this Ramban, if the way we explain kedoshim to you means that we should distance ourselves from all these benefits and enjoyments and luxuries, what luxuries does Hashem have? So, of course, what does that even mean? And there's a Shar Yosher of Shimon Shkop in the introduction to this book. Shar Yosher says a beautiful idea. He says a person, every single behavior and action a person does should be focused to benefit the world, to help other people. Well, and that's of course what's desired, but obviously we have ourselves, and we have our needs, and we have our desires. And how do you live with that? On the one hand, we have Im ein ani li mili. But on the other hand, Uchshani latzmi, if it's all just for myself, mani. And the answer is finding that balance. Yes, maximizing your potential. Learn what you need to learn, do what you need to do, but all this is for one purpose, so you can help other people. And that's the way to do it. Build and create yourself, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you should be doing. But with one goal in mind, afterwards, using that to benefit the others. But Hashem doesn't have that anything for himself. And that's dangerous. It's what Hashem has, and for Hashem it's clearly not dangerous, but for us, we need to build and create for ourselves. Hashem doesn't need that. There's no for himself. It's all for others. It's all for us. And that's what the Midrash means. We can't be like Hashem. It's not good for us to be like Hashem in that sense, because he doesn't need anything for himself, but we do need for ourselves. But build and create ourselves so that we can support each other. That is the goal. That is the purpose. And perhaps it is no coincidence that this was spoken to, Daber el kol adat b'nei Yisrael. Everyone needs to be gathered together when this tzivui is done. Because when you look around and you see everyone, you see the stronger people, you see the weaker people, everyone is around you, you see that, of course, I'm actually pretty talented in this area. Of course I could help and support each other, my friend who's a bit weaker than I am. If I'm in my community and I'm strong, I have better skills at reading, whatever it is, of course I'll support one another. And only when you see a Kol Adat Yisrael, that idea and understanding of, okay, I'll build and create myself for sure, but afterwards I'll help and support my friends and those around me. That is the idea. The Ber Kol Adat Yisrael, Kedoshim to you, Ki Kadosh. Hashem only gives to others. We give to ourselves in order for us to be able to give to others. Shabbat Shalom.